Yes, well, hi everybody. Glad you could join me today, and we're going to paint. I want to say I'm sorry for not being around for a few weeks, but I moved, and you know what kind of a hassle it is moving and getting settled into new digs. But we're more or less settled in. I can pretty much find my property, kind of, and by golly, I'm ready to paint. Now, I'm going to paint today a painting from a picture that my daughter sent me, and it's got a real moody sky in it, and we got a splash of some sunset over in the corner, and then some trees are silhouetted in it. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful painting. And we're going to be painting an acrylic today rather than watercolor, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to doing this since just before I moved. And today just seems like the day to do it. And I want to thank all of you who are subscribed to my channel here. That means a lot to me. You're all very special, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And by golly, if you know anybody that likes painting and you think it's worth having them come over here and subscribe and take a look, please let them know. And if you just ran across me, you like what you see, hit the heart, hit the subscribe, okay? And hit that bell notification that's up there so that you can see each and every video that we come out with. And please leave a comment. I do read them. I read every one of them. They're very important to me to know how we're doing and where we need to go. If you do have something that you would like to see me paint, or a particular subject that you would like to see me paint, then say so, and we'll do our best to get it done. The only thing I don't do anymore is portraits, because I've had a couple of small strokes and my hands are a little too shaky to do portraits anymore. But anything else is on the table, and I'll do my very best to see to it that what you would like to see will get done, okay? And so, like I say, today's painting is in acrylic, and I've got everything ready. So let's go ahead and get over to the easel, and let's get going. Alrighty, here we go. Glad you hung around. Now, like I say, this is a rather simple painting. So I'm going to use some burnt umber, and I'm just going to put in about where the horizon is going to be. It'll be right about there. Okay, we're more interested in sky than anything else. Okay, we got that. We know we're going to have some trees here, just a little bit of tree work like that, and this is going to be the focal point right in this area. Okay, so we'll just put that in there. We won't worry about that because we're going to cover that up. Okay, now let me clean the brush here. I'm doing all this stuff off camera. It's just a lot easier this way. Okay, I'm going to hang on to that burnt umber. Now we've got some sunset type stuff going on in here. So I'm going to get some lemon yellow, which is a real beautiful yellow. And let me see what else I can find. Okay, here's what they call brilliant yellow. It's closer to a cad yellow, but it'll do the job. And I got some deep yellow. Okay, here we go. And as you can see, I've got all of them right there on the palette. And I'm going to use a little bit of white in there just to make them a little creamier and a little more opaque. Now I've prepared the canvas with some burnt umber, so I don't have a white canvas to reach up and ruin my day. Okay, now let's just go in and see what we can do. Okay, I need the white to make it opaque. Okay, now first one I'm going to use is I'm going to use the really, really light lemon yellow. Now you can see I got a chunk of it on the brush. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put it on like that. And I'm putting chunks of paint on. Just like that. Just chunks of paint. Okay, I don't want to, I'm not trying to smooth this paint out. Okay. Some chunks of paint here and some chunks of paint there. Okay, now I'm not going to clean the brush, but I'm going to take some of that white and I'm going to come into that medium yellow. Okay. And I'm going to throw some of that. Now you see the difference that makes? Okay, there we go. See the difference that medium yellow makes. Okay. Now what's going to make this pop is we've got some tree silhouettes that are going to go in. Now I'm into the darker yellow. Okay, and we're just going to pop a little of that here and a little of that there, like that. And you may be thinking, well, I don't know. Well, you're more worried about it than I am because I know what's going to happen here. I'm using acrylics, so this stuff's going to dry, and it's going to dry really, really well. It's going to dry quick. Now, we're going to turn from the yellow, we're going to turn over here to the sky. And this is what we call a moody sky. It's just, well, it's kind of stormy, okay? So I'm going to use some Mars Black. I'm putting a little Mars Black out, okay? And I've got some burnt umber. That's just a fancy artist way of saying I got some brown, okay? I got some more of that. And what else have I got to play with over here? I got some gray. We're going to want some gray in there. And this is going to make our cloud formations. Let's see if I got anything else to play with. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, yeah. I got some raw umber. Okay, there we go. Now I can take these colors right here. I can make a nice sky. Now, this might surprise you, but I'm going to use some violet. We want some violet in our sky. Okay, here we go. There's all of those colors sitting right there. And we're going to make a cloudy sky out of it. I'm going to grab some white and I'm going to pull it over here. It's got a little yellow in it. That's not going to matter at all. Now, we're just going to make us up. Some color. Just making us up some color. See, I'm digging in here and I'm coming down here and I'm just mixing up some color. Now, I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to dance that color around like that. I'm just going to dance it. Now I'm going to come into some darker and I'm going to throw some dark in like that. And I'm not going to mix these two all together. That is the one thing I don't want to do. And it's the one thing that's easiest to do if you're not careful. Okay. We're just going to leave the brush marks. Okay. Now, some people would be doing this with an airbrush and you'd have a nice smooth surface on it. And that's okay if that's what you want. But we're doing this kind of artsy, okay? So we're not too worried about putting that in there. Okay, we get some nice dark. See how that violet works? That works just fine up in our sky. Now, as I come over here by the light, notice that when I put this darker color around there, how that light all of a sudden gets brighter, okay? These are just little X strokes like that. Just like that. I want that to be nice and pretty bright. And so therefore, I'm going to use my darkest colors right around it, okay? Just like that. Put the dark in. There we go. Okay, now let's grab a little of that brown. We'll throw some brown down in here. So I want this dark, but I've got something in mind. You see, in here, I'm going to silhouette some trees. And because I'm going to silhouette some trees, I've got to be able to get the trees darker than that. We'll manage it. Okay, our stormy sky is starting to is starting to take shape, just like that. Now we'll grab a little bit of white here, just like that. Pop some white in there. Now we'll grab some of the gray, okay? And we'll let the gray do its thing. Stormy, stormy sky. And I'm just alternating between the browns and the grays and the purples. Oh, there we go. We got that. We're coming right down here to our horizon, just like this, okay? And as you can see, it doesn't take very long to get a stormy look in a sky. Doesn't take very long at all. Now we'll come in here, we'll grab a little bit of this yellow, and we'll just pull some of that yellow out like that. Kind of like some of that light is just shooting out over that sky, just like that. Just pull, pull, pull. No fear whatsoever. Don't ever be afraid painting. My goodness, all it is, it's just some paint and a canvas panel. That's all it is. There's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, we'll put a little more dark in here, and we'll leave this because this is now in front of that, okay? Okay, we've got this beautiful, beautiful sky, and it paints quickly like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of the Mars Black, and I'm using Mars Black because that's the black that I came to when I was looking for black. I got lamp black in there, but I didn't use that. I'm going to grab just a little bit of water for medium because this is acrylic, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're just going to come across here because we can, because the acrylic paint is now dried, okay? With oils, you probably have to wait a day or two to be able to do that, okay? Now what we're doing is we're just establishing our horizon again with color. We're just coming across just like that. And if it's a little bumpy, that's perfectly all right. That's perfectly all right, because we want it to be that way. I don't want this to be just one color, okay? I want there to be variations in it. See, oh my goodness, there, we picked up some gray that was still in the brush. We're going to leave that because that looks absolutely super, okay? I want that particular look. Okay, there we go, just like that, just like that. Now this varies a little bit from the photograph that my daughter sent me, but that's perfectly all right. I'm going to mix a little bit of yellow in with that black, and I'm going to get a gray-green. Okay, just got a hint of green in it, just a hint, like that. We're coming down here. Okay, that's looking good. We throw a little bit of brown down here too. Okay, and we're producing planes in here. My goodness. Okay, back into the black. Now I'm going to get a little bit of water on the brush because that's our painting medium. That's what we make this stuff flow better with, is water, like that. And as we just kind of scratch and scumble our way through, there's lighter and there's darker areas. And when you have that and you look at it as the viewer, what that does is that allows your brain to paint the painting without me having to do any work. All I have to do is just make it like this. Just go ahead and just scumble it in like that. Now I understand I'm painting this quickly, I've been doing this for almost 70 years, okay, so I can paint pretty quick. If you choose to paint this painting, don't think that you have to paint fast like this, because you don't. I'm doing it because I'm trying to keep the video at a reasonable length. And so therefore I gotta paint just a little bit quicker than probably you would. You're going to be painting this at home. You're going to be relaxing. You don't have to worry about painting fast like this. Okay. And I'm using essentially the same colors that I used in the sky. Okay. And that harmonizes this whole thing. Okay, and when I finally get this entire canvas covered, that's a milestone, because I have the entire canvas covered with paint. And because the canvas was toned this color, I don't have those ugly white strips coming through. Okay, anything that comes through is going to be a mid-tone, and that is exactly what I would prefer to have. Okay, just come in here like that. We can leave some lighter, we'll have some darker. Okay, get a little bit more water on the brush. Come in here, and we're about to have a party, because we're about to have this canvas entirely covered. Okay, and there we go. Now it's party time, because we're about halfway done, easily halfway done with this painting. Okay, now in the photograph, there is what appears to be a building way out there, way out here somewhere. And I debated on whether I wanted to put it in or not, and I'm looking through my brushes to see if there's anything that I can use to get that building in there. And I got a real small one like this. Okay, now we're going to come up here in the white. Okay, we're just going to come up here in the white. And I've got a chunk of white paint. So what I'm going to do is out here, I'm just going to pull that building, whatever it may be. I don't know what it is. But somebody will look at it and say, oh, I know what that is. Well, I'm glad you do, because I do not have a clue, but I know it's there. It's way out there somewhere. Okay, so whatever it is, if you figure out what it is, you let me know, then the both of us will know. Actually, all three of us will know, because I got a guest in the studio today, and he's my friend, and he wanted to watch this process, and so he's here and he's watching. Okay, let's just say that this is just the boundary of a road. Okay, just the boundary of a road. Doesn't have to say much more than that. Okay, there we go, just the boundaries like that. There we go. So now we got a road that goes there. Now we're coming to what I really consider to be the fun part of the painting. Put that back in there, put that brush back. Now we'll dig into this. Okay, we're going to dig into this, and we're going to make this just a little bit darker. Right in this area here. Looky here. We're going to dig right into this. We're just going to grab whatever paint we got. We just want to make this darker. As we make this darker, okay, we create this as a plane. And all of a sudden, when we see this area is closer than that area. And that is exactly what I want your eye to believe, okay? As the artist, I pretty much control what you're seeing, what you're looking at. Now, I'm going to get a little bit more dark paint. I'm going to get a little bit more dark paint. Let's see, what am I into? There's the Mars Black. There's the Mars Black. Put it down here. A little bit more of it down there. And I really don't need a lot more than that. I'm going to put a little bit of red ochre in there. That's one of my favorite colors. A little bit of red ochre. Okay. And let me just look, see what I got in here. I'm going to use a palette knife. Okay. One of these days I will do a painting demonstration with a palette knife. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting the paint, I'm getting a chunk of paint, and you can see it here. It's right on the tip of the knife, okay? Getting that chunk of paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to, with the knife, put a tree form silhouetted in that light, just like that. These things are fun to do. Don't let yourself think that you can't, because you can. I promise you. You can. If I can paint them, by golly, you can paint them too. Okay, we got that part of it. Now, let's come out here. Put another one in, just like that. Scrape the knife through the paint. We got the chunk of paint. Put it down. And just let the knife do its job. Bring those trees right into existence, just like that. Okay. We'll just put a little here. Just like that. Okay, we'll just scrape this a little bit darker, like that. We got a little wall of paint. We'll just take that little wall of paint away, just like that with the knife. Okay, and we have essentially completed our painting. We can come out here. We can just tap and scrape. Get a few more forms, just like that. Just like that. It's all in the dark. It's all in the dark. And I hope you have enjoyed watching this little painting take shape. I promise you, you can do it. If you want to, we have a completed painting right now. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I thank you for being with me. And I thank my guest for being with me. By golly, we had a good time. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here again. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and hit that bell so you get all notifications. Thank you very much for being here. I love you all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.